So recently, some restrictions are being lifted on what we can and cannot do in terms of gathering in groups of people. And so friends and I have been discussing what we've missed the most and what we're most excited to open back up. I've been really excited personally about Mitchell's opening back up. We've heard that they are reopening some of their stores again, and I was really excited to get my favorite ice cream again. Except it's happened in a very different form. Rather than going inside and getting your hand scooped ice cream with your toppings and sitting down with the atmosphere of an ice cream parlor, what one has to do is pre-order their ice cream by 4 p.m. and then on the next day that you can go and collect your pint and your toppings at the store. But it's only happening at select stores, and even then it's a limited menu, of which my favorite flavor is not even on it. My next favorite flavor is not even at the nearest store that's close to it. I'd have to drive over an hour away just to get this. So I love Mitchell's, but I think I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. I think that a lot of us are in a similar situation, that we keep waiting for things to go back to normal, for things to go back to the way that they used to be. But I don't think that this kind of normal, this old normal, is in our future. We're going to head into a new kind of normal. We might get a fresh start as we head into something that's completely unknown. But if you're anything like me, this idea of the unknown, it's uncomfortable. It's got me a bit turned around and upside down. But this is where faith and hope are supposed to come in, right? For me, my future has been mostly predictable. There's some unknowns. I mean, for example, I was supposed to go on vacation this summer. And yes, I might not have known exactly what the weather would have been like on vacation, but I knew I was going on vacation. I had the tickets booked for the plane ride, and I knew where I was staying and the place, and I was really looking forward to it. But now, our future, it's completely unknown. Nothing's for sure. So when it comes to faith and hope, it's almost like I'm using a muscle that I haven't used or exercised in a long time. So what is faith then? The Message translations of Hebrews 11:1 says that this fundamental fact of existence is that this trust in God, this faith, is the firm foundation under everything that makes life worth living. It's our handle on what we can't see. If there's anything true right now, it's that we cannot see our future. Where we are now is nothing like what we would expect it to have been 4 months ago. It's completely different. In fact, this strangeness, this uncertainty about our present situation is showing up online on parodies in which a present self in this current situation goes back in time 4 months and begins to talk to their old self, the past self, to give advice about in order to prepare for this. The humor comes in looking at the disbelief and confusion on their faces of the past self as they begin to explain what this is going to be like. One of them, they talk about at the end, that they give this advice at the end to say, oh yeah, and invest in Zoom, in which the past self replies, Zoom? Isn't that web conferencing app? How great would it be if we got advice from the future about our current situation? Except this isn't what God asks us to do. God asks us to trust, to have faith, not knowing what the future will be like. We can trust God's love for us and that we are part of God's future. It's okay for us to be curious about the future or get nervous sometimes. But let us all, including me, take small steps of faith to trust God And as Hebrews 11:1 says, make faith the firm foundation under everything that life is worth living for, because it's our handle on what we can't see.